Influencer Tanner Martin has officially been laid to rest, just days after one of the most emotional and groundbreaking moments ever witnessed on social media, a pre-recorded video in which he announced his own death. The 30-year-old content creator from Utah had been battling stage 4 colon cancer for nearly 5 years, and in his final days, he left behind not just a powerful message, but a legacy that's deeply moved millions. It all began in late 2020 when Tanner, just 25 at the time, started experiencing persistent stomach pains. He pushed for answers, and what doctors initially dismissed turned into a devastating diagnosis: stage 4 colorectal cancer, already metastasized to his liver. Most would retreat, but Tanner chose to fight and document everything. Alongside his wife Shay Wright, he turned their heartbreak into hope, transforming their platforms into a place of raw vulnerability, education, and courage. Over the course of his battle, Tanner endured more than 50 rounds of chemotherapy, 6 surgeries, and the emotional roller coaster of fertility struggles that eventually led to a successful IVF journey. On May 15, 2025, Tanner and Shay welcomed their miracle daughter, AmyLou, nicknamed Jiaozi, the Chinese word for dumpling. Her arrival brought a new light into Tanner's world, even as his own life was fading. Just a few weeks later, knowing the end was near, Tanner did something few could ever imagine. He held a living funeral. In a theater, complete with a red carpet and a movie-style tribute, he gave friends and loved ones the chance to say goodbye while he was still alive. He laughed, he cried, and he soaked up every second. It was classic Tanner, unapologetically human and deeply present. But nothing prepared the world for what came next. On June 25, a video appeared on Tanner's Instagram. In it, he looked straight into the camera and calmly said, "Hey, it's me, Tanner. If you're watching this, I am dead." It was surreal, raw, and heartbreakingly honest. He wanted his followers, and more importantly, his wife, to be able to grieve without having to carry the burden of public explanation. In the clip, he assured everyone that he had lived a life full of love and adventure. "I had a heck of a life," he said. "Life was awesome. I really enjoyed it while I was here." He spoke with clarity and grace about what awaited him, calling death a new adventure, and joking that he was excited to meet some people and make fun of all you nerds from the afterlife. He ended his message by urging people to choose kindness, to assume good intentions in others, and to simply try to live a happy life. But it didn't stop there. A second video followed, this time showing intimate moments between Tanner and his newborn daughter. In a cracked voice, weakened by his final days, he softly pleaded with his followers to contribute to a GoFundMe campaign, not for him, but for her. "Help me raise Jiaozi," he whispered. "For the price of a McChicken, you could fund my AmyLou's legacy fund." His dream was to give her a head start, support Shay, and ensure they could afford a modest home and a stable future. The response was overwhelming. As of July 5, the GoFundMe had already exceeded $590,000, more than double its original $250,000 goal. Strangers across the globe rallied behind a man most had never met, but all had come to love. On July 5, just over a week after the release of his final videos, Tanner Martin was laid to rest. The service was intimate, emotional, and filled with tributes from those who knew him best. One particularly moving moment came from artist Amber Eldridge, who had painted a portrait Tanner had commissioned, a depiction of him as an angel watching over Shay and AmyLou. She revealed that Tanner's very first words to his daughter were simply, "I've waited so long for this." The tributes that poured in from fans and friends painted the picture of a man who was deeply kind, hilariously funny, and endlessly selfless. Followers described Tanner as the most authentic person on the internet, someone who could make you laugh through tears and find beauty in the darkest moments. Others praised how he used his platform to speak openly about young-onset cancer, advocating for early screenings and removing stigma around colorectal health. In a world that often rewards perfection, Tanner Martin gave us something far more meaningful: the truth. He let people into the chemo chairs, the ER visits, the IVF shots, and the quiet tears behind closed doors. And he did it all with a smile, not because he wasn't afraid, but because he believed there was still joy to be found even in dying. His legacy lives on in the hearts of those he touched, in the videos he left behind, and most of all, in the life of a little girl who will one day grow up knowing that her father wasn't just brave, he was unforgettable. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.